It is time to get some fine shites. God damn, I didn't even realize she was on here, bro. So the smile's enough to make me bark racial slurs at the elderly. K. Wow, like shock factor for sure, bro. Wow, I love that. But it's green! This is green! I'm half chubbed as fuck right now.
I think we could easily fall in love. Oh, you think? Absolutely. Let's get together so I can prove it. Okay, you got snaps. She sent me the snap. We've been snapping.
Nobody gets me, you do. Hannah, you get me like nobody else gets me. What the fuck is happening in my life? Any girl who says she's gonna bark at me has gotta be the one. I'm gonna be honest, like, okay, Enya, like, meow! Oh! I just hit my head on a beam. Shawty says she's Brazilian. Look at them flags, boy. Okay, I said, hello, Huz. You're scaring me because you're genuinely beautiful. She said, thank you, Huzzington. Let's go out. She said, okay, let's. Hen, are you free? Good God. God, I said when. Goddamn, misinput. Enya. More like Inya, but you playing too much. Yeah, she's definitely responding. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, this is Latina mommy. Are you Latina? Yo, like, what do you mean, are you Latina? I said, I've been lacking some spice in my life and I feel like you could help with that. She didn't respond. Okay. Can I throw a chalupa at your forehead? Yeah. Listen, dark features, I can meow. And Shawty's already barking at me. Look at this. I said, you're adorable. Thank you, baby. You're about me is confusing. What is all that supposed to mean? I'm barking at you. Shawty knows the key to my heart. Wow. I feel like a little autistic kid getting his first toy car, bro. God damn. I said, that's the best thing I've ever heard. Green flag. I'll bark back, though. You cool with that? Please do. God damn, I want you.
Let's get in furry costumes together and do some devious stuff.
That's gotta be Riz, right? This girl is freaking mommy, bro. I said, want to be my Roblox girlfriend? Wait, on God, for real? I'll be your Roblox girlfriend. Come on! I said, bet, you can be my e-kitten. We'll make sexy noises to each other over the voice chat. She said, that's so tough. I said, let's do it. She said, booyah. She said, wait, do you actually have Roblox? I said, yes. Wait, are you actually trying to be my e-kitten? I need one. She said, do you deadass want one? Do I get Roblox out of this? I said, absolutely, to both. Because, right? Obviously, I need an e-kitten. She said, what's your Roblox? I said, I think it's E-Boy Bathwater 420. We haven't played Roblox yet, but when I get her in a Roblox game, I'm going to groom her into falling in love with me. What the hell is that? Right off rip, we're like curvy. Maybe that was the reason that I swiped right. Shawty looks like she's about to fly a plane into a specific building in 2001. Meow. I said, you're like goth mommy. I kind of love it. Thank you, Mr. Streamer man. How do I take that? I should know better than anyone else. I take shit often. I said, okay, let's do a stream date. We can throw bottles at the elderly. She said, I was thinking bricks, but that works too, I guess. Dream girl, how about both? Why not? And 0 response. See, like, what are we doing? The energy was there. It was there. Then it just disappeared. Shawty got the name of a man, but she do got to this. Got me on, dude. Get me on that. Hello, Huz. Hey. I'm gonna be honest, moaning the name Us would be hard to do, but I could get around to it, I guess. Kate, like, that's the most Riz I've ever seen in my life. She said, damn, straight to it. I said, just a thought, honestly. I think we need to go out, Austin. She said, okay, when? I said, when you free? Whenever, really, after 3:30. Oh, shit, this was my fault. I'm free always. Wanna kiss? That's gotta be Riz.
But what the hell, boy?
Damn, Hattie. Her eyes are, like, really far apart from each other. She's adorable, bro. Yeah. I can mess when a girl wants to be some masculine version of herself and just fucking, you know, bend me over and put it in my ass. I said, Hattie, you're adorable. Let's go out. We'll take pre-workout and get lit and fall in love. Listen, that shot lands 9 out of 10 times. It didn't land here. How the fuck? Okay, Bella, find Shay who could take me on a plane. What if she was driving the plane and I grabbed the wheel and somehow we just landed into some random tower? Bond kill. I said, let's fall in love, Bella. She said, I'm so down.
Want to go to the highest point of the mountain and jump off, but later realized we were on LSD and that the whole thing was fake, but we fell in love anyways.
Like, what the fuck am I shooting? These shots are beautiful. They're green. These shots are green. If I was a girl, I would be dripping white tears all the time down my leg. She said, yes, let's do it. Meow. Yes, let's do it. I've never had LSD, so you're gonna have to hold my hand. I said, that's perfect. I've never had it either. All right, she never responded, so I'm gonna say, hey, shawty, you still want to get lit together? We could interlock our toes, perchance. Ashley, okay, guys, this is the Utah hood. She said I'm low-key weird, which to me is honestly the most green flag a girl could fly, bro. I love weird-ass women, bro. Cover me in Nutella, you know, spank my ass. Like, I like that weird shit.
I love weird girls. Let's go get Baja Blast together, because she said she liked Baja Blast. I'm about a Baja Blast into your ass. She said, yay! I was like, free Saturday night? Ooh, let's do it! I have something around 4, so I can pick you up at 7 or something. What else should we do? Maybe even we could kiss. She said, I mean, Baja Blast, yes, but kiss, no.
That's enough to make me want to absolutely put a Glock up my asshole and just shit might feel good, to be honest. I said, oh, she's using me for the money for the Baja Blast. Shawty said, wow, the $3 spent on me. Listen, if you can't appreciate that shit, you cannot have any of me. If you cannot appreciate even the slightest of me. I said, you're worth every penny. That was a sweet shot. She said, oh, thanks, Tan. Yeah, hell no. We're not doing that shit, bro. She said, you've been trained. Somebody has cooked here. And it's because I got manipulated by a cougar. I said, it's not even like that. I checked the UV for me. At the end of the day, I am just trying to become a tan queen. Ultimately, I got the snap. I'm doing this whole entire stream raw dog. Is this aura or not? Sometimes you just need to raw dog that shit. Meow. Look at those eyes, bro. That's enough to make me genuinely just throw shit at like little kids. Because here's the thing, bro. I like a little attitude. You know what I'm saying? I like my girl to be a little spicy type shit. I want to smack my balls here in there. But she does have majestic eyes and kind of a fat ass. Meow. Sorry, give me a whip and die. This is why I've yet to find a girlfriend, but you know. Giat. Oh, sorry, miss in out input typo. Want to get Twisted Teas together? At the end of the day, I know what I'm doing, bro. I know what I bring to the table, and that's ultimate amounts of riz, a fat ass, and some hips for a white boy. God, sorry, I can't. I'm having a hard time focusing. Pillows. Kind of looks like the dude Wednesday Addams. I said, want to get a bag of Snickers and pelt old people with them? She said no. Matter of fact, that could be a good stream. She said, but maybe cheese because it would hurt less. Not as good as Snickers, but I see the vision, you know? I said, that's valid. Let's do that. I was going to say throw it on their cars, but, you know. So she never responded. So let me ask this. I smell like ball cheese. Do you mess with that? That shot is green every single time, bro. Oh, shit. Meow. I said, redheads scare me. Why? I don't think they're real, to be honest. I don't trust it. She said, I don't know what to tell you.
He said, I got a brilliant idea. We dye our hair blonde so I can trust you. I got the dye in my hand right now.
You know what? I'm going to follow that up with,
you could have me in your hands right now, but you playing.
Actually, I don't like redheads. Never mind.
I said, how about you be my Latina mommy and you throw chancla at my head, but I secretly get turned on from it and end up hitting it off from there.
If I don't have a Latina mommy who wants to throw chanclas at my head, I don't want a Latina mommy at all. All right, this conversation was so fucking weird. Hey, mommy. Mommy is crazy, but hey. I said, if we do a 2-man, how are we gonna have alone time? LOL. Girls have zero fucking substance sometimes. I swear to God, bro. It's like this fucking microphone has more personality than this girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she said, LOL. I said, LOL. She said, I don't know. You gotta be a little retarded, right? Like, what kind of shit is that? I said, I don't know why. I just want to put Nutella all over you. I know ball. That's all I'm gonna say. Shawty don't know ball because that was green. She said, aha, that's crazy. I said, you down? Or she said, LOL, no. I said, I'm not gonna lie. You way too chopped to be just try. She said, I'm chopped. Huh? Damn, that's crazy. Like, she's actually just it's like literally talking to a brick wall. Like, okay, Alexis, she's actually gorgeous. Hey! Exclamation. She said, how are you? Listen, I'm gonna be honest. Girls don't have no riz. But that's okay, because I'm gonna lock in here. Green. I said, dude, honestly, not great. I'd be so much better if we were together. She said, hey, we can make it happen. What are you doing tomorrow? Shawty wanted me right then and there. I said, dude, I'm out of town for a minute. I won't lie. She said, that's lame. Love like ours is worth waiting for. Meow. She said, I would have to agree. Shawty do got riz. I said, I just gotta say your fits are fired. That was my friend. I'm not gonna lie. He took my phone. And then he said, but I think you look better with them off. And she said, probably true. Oh my God. And then she gave me the snap. This girl was very interesting. Right there, I'm not gonna lie, mommy. Daddy.
So what's the move? Looking for your goddess or just stacking up baddies for a highlight reel? And I said, honestly, all of the above. Need someone crazy to go with. She said, well, I don't play side character energy. If we're gonna be crazy, I better be the whole damn storyline. I said, I don't know if you'd be able to handle the story of my life, to be honest, but we could see. She said, oh, I can handle it. I've got my own kind of chaos, but I don't break easy, and I definitely don't scare off. If your story's wild, good. I like a plot with heat. I said that was straight out of an AI Riz app, but I mess with it. Like,
everything this girl was saying was straight up out of, like, Plug AI or, like, Riz AI. Like, What the fuck? Shawty's writing a poem every single time she sends a text. I said, poetic, let's go out.
Can you write me a song? She said, I mean, I can't just hand out songs like candy. I gotta get to know you a little first. You know, make sure the inspiration's worth it. Shawty, I promise you this story is worth it.
I feel like the only way we can get to inspiration is for you to see the real me. We gotta hang out so you can see what it's like. She said, then let's hang out. I said, you have Snap or Insta? She gave me both. Scarlett kind of mommy. I said, wanna be my Nutella buddy? Like, god damn. Haha, why friend Nutella? Because I don't think she speaks English at all. I was using Google Translate through this conversation. I said, so we can spread Nutella on each other's bodies. Ora jaja, mi parisi bien. I don't understand at all, bro. I'm so white. I said, okay, let's do it. I don't even know what that means. I'm gonna be honest. She said, ¿Quieres ni nada más? I don't know what the fuck that means. Can we translate this real quick? You wanna fucking nothing else? Ooh. And then I said, I'm down. God damn! I need some Riz in Spanish. I wanna feel your gravitational pull. Bang. Okay, Alex, 18, spawn kill. I said, you're honestly adorable. Let's go get sushi. She said, oh, thank you so much. Sounds fun. I said, that's not the only thing we're gonna do, raw. She said, oh, okay. You mess with it? Laura kind of baddie, actually. Like, hi, meow. I want you to put the pickle in my asshole. I said, we could easily fall in love. She said, we'll see about that. Laura, having a nice day? Let's make out. This girl's actually pretty adorable, bro. I'm not gonna lie. She kind of scares me, but I kind of love that. I'll say, you're stunning, bro. Let's get lit on pre-workout and fall in love while being crazy. She says, sounds perfect to me. I said, are you fine if it's pre-workout that's borderline cocaine? Never had pre-workout, so we'll have to see how that goes.
I said, it's like the closest you can get to feeling like a superhero without drugs, I think. I've never had drugs. You know, I haven't, so I don't know. I'm just
spitballing out of my ass at this point. I said, but either way, we could fall in love when we take Tice Nits. She said, haha, okay, it's worth a shot. I said, you got Snap or Insta? She sent, okay, just Insta. Sophia, wait, isn't this girl the girl that we just saw? There's too many Latina mommies. I said, are you spicy? Depends on what you mean. I said, I need some wild energy, borderline manipulation. I mean, I'm Latina for a reason. Just match my energy and I'll match yours. Perfect. We're gonna work great. Lovely. She's like tongue and mommy. God damn. I feel like just looking at her would give me fucking superpowers. Do you think our kid would look like Maui? Is that racist? I said, your smile's making me want to bark at the elderly.
Know what you wanted and how to go get it.
She said, oh, I've never heard that one before. Thank you. I said, I got you. What's your background? Like, where are you from? Because I want to know what kind of Maui babies I'm able to have. Tan lines. Meow. 19. A little over spawn kill. She might be entering expired age. So we could easily fall in love. She said, oh yeah, how easy? As easy as my LED booty plug fits in my butt.